Good morning, children. Today we are going to continue our continuation part of the lesson. Our remaining part of our lesson, that is earliest cities. About this chapter, we are going to continue today. What all that remaining part is there, about that we are going to discuss. Yes, we are going to start with this seals and ceilings. From this topic onwards, we are going to start our discussion. Seals may have been used to stamp bags or packets containing goods that were sent from one place to another. After a bag was closed or tied, a layer of wet clay was applied on the knot and the seal was pressed on it. The impression of the seal is known as sealing. See children, here sealing it is now also it is there, and sealing it was there. Sealing earlier they used to do for that the product for proper supplying. For example, that if something they purchased anything instrument or any things on that pockets, they used to be put a proper knot for that, and for that knot they are going to cover with that soil, wet soil, and they are going to make it a proper shape for that. Then they used to carry this one to one place to another place. If something damage it's becoming, the damage it's going to become for that pocket, for that sealed only. Then inside the what all the things are the material it is there, it's not going to get harm anything. So the sealing system it was there in this way in that time. Then next is there, 1 minute children. Okay. If the ceiling was intact, one could be sure that the goods had arrived safely. Means once if the ceiling was intact, if ceiling was good, intact, one could be sure that the goods had arrived safely. Means once the things it is arrived reached goods properly, then it is thought that it's things it is reached in a proper way. Then next, the mystery of the end. Around 3900 years ago, we find the beginning of the major change. See children, 3900 years ago, we find a beginning of major changes there. People stopped living in many of the cities. People they were stopped living in many of the cities. Writings, seals, and weights were no longer used. People they were stopped in living in the cities, and what all that writings and weight it was there, they were not used in longer days. Then next, seals and weights were no longer used. Raw materials brought from long distance became rare. In Mohenjo-daro, we find the garbage piled up on the streets, the drainage system broken down, and new, less impressive houses were built even over the streets. See, children, it is the last, the end of the earlier cities days are there. Here, somewhere, what happened? The sewerage system it was broken out. What all that inspection hole it was there, from that garbage it is came out, and water it was ejected everywhere. So it is entire in a spoiling way of the earliest cities times. But then also it was very attractive and very distinctive kind of the construction we are going to be see in those times. Then next, why did all this happen? Why did all this happen? We are not sure. Some scholars suggest that the rivers dried up. Others suggest that there was deforestation. This could have happened because fuel was required for baking bricks. See, children, here, why did all this happen? We are not sure. Some scholars they were suggested, and they were in that time deforestation has taken place. Forest it was means trees it was chopped down. Entire trees it was cut down. Entire the resourceful area it is became as a plain area. They were started to use this one entire the fire that fire purpose. They were started to use that wood, and they were started to earlier there were no any kind of facilities, so only the food is going to prepare by this wood only. Then apart from that, to smelt iron this copper, for that also wood it was need. So for these different place different kind of things, different kind of uses, the forest area it is became as a deforestation. This could have happened because fuel was required for baking bricks and for smelting copper ores. Besides, grazing by large herds of cattle, sheep, and goat may have destroyed the green cover. See, children here, with this a lot of greenery area it was there. Then people's big herders, cow herders and sheep herders, they used to take their animals to the forest, and with that herding, with that grazing, forest also it was destroyed. In some areas there were floods, but none of these reasons can explain the end of all the cities. Flooding or a river drying up would have had an effect in only some areas. What all that drying up or that dried up the river cities there, no, it was affected to some areas. And due to this reason what happened, people they were suffered a lot. And few historians they were suggest, they were says that there were what the entire the these early cities it was destroyed by the stuck of or that the stuck of this entire drought, means drought it was occurred. Due to that reason entire this early cities it was vanished. This some early some the historians opinion is there. In appears as if the rulers lost control. In any case, the effects of the change are quite clear. What are the effects of the change is there? It's quite clear. It is sites in Sindh and West Punjab present in Pakistan were abandoned. See, these entire sites, those are Sindh and Punjab, it is located in Pakistan. People they were abandoned those places, and they were started to move towards to the southern side and towards to the eastern side to set there only, means to get settled there itself only. New cities emerged about 14,000 years later. You will read this about in next chapter, 5th and 8th chapter. New cities are emerged 14,000 years ago only. So about this in detail we are going to study about in next chapter. Children, next one we are going to be see here elsewhere. Elsewhere means it is extra knowledge after the chapter. Similar it is giving. So this early cities it comes in that Indus Valley civilization. So here they given here they were given here like Indus Valley civilization only, that is Egypt civilization. See, let us see what they were given. Find Egypt in your atlas. Most of Egypt is a dry desert except for the lands along the river Nile. Around 5000 years ago, kings ruled over Egypt. These kings sent armies to distinct lands to get gold, silver, ivory, timber, and precious stones. They also built huge tombs known as pyramids. When they died, the bodies of kings were preserved and buried in these pyramids. These carefully preserved bodies are known as mummies. A large number of objects were also buried with them. These included food, drink, cloth, ornaments, utensils, musical instruments, weapons, and animals. Sometimes even serving men and women were buried with the rulers. These are amongst the most elaborate burials known in world history. See children, what we are going to see in this image, pyramids is there, it is in triangle shape. This it was constructed in the year around 5000 years ago. King of Egyptians, they were constructed. Then these Egyptian kings, they used to send that workers to the distant places to bring valuable things. Those are ivory, gold, silver, then timber. So beads. So see, these are the things they used to be bring, and these are the when they are constructing these pyramids, they were kept inside in that. For example, that if a king and queen, any royal class family members, they were died, then at that time with their dead body, with their favorite things, what all they used to be used when they are alive. It may be any kind of favorite things, or it may be favorite servicemen, men or women, and musical instrument, weapons, and some of other things, utensils, ornaments, clothes, drinks, food. So these all the things they used to put inside in this pyramid, and they are constructing these pyramids. So these pyramids, it has its own history and glory for this different kind of name and fame it has made it in the world. So this is about how Egyptians different, and how Egyptians were made it different path of their history. About that we right now only we studied. So any more questions is there in the class you are going to ask. And imagine there is imagine is there. In imagine what they asked, just think, if you are going to with your parents traveling to the Lothal and Mohenjo-daro, what are the things maybe you are going to be absorbed. Just imagine and write in your notebook. Yes children, this entire video, please subscribe the channel, and send to that many WhatsApp and video groups. It will help for that many other groups, those they are going to school for them. Thank you children. Bye. Take care of yourself.